old and not really headlining it. We're in a weird space with the league where there's not really a face of the league. Like, it felt like this should have been Luka's year, but he's been hurt. Jason Tatum passes the ball too much and is too vanilla. There just doesn't seem like there's a real face of the league right now.
He's too vanilla. He is. He's soft. The most interesting part of it all to me has been like, they haven't even tried to control the narrative. Like, you would think that the league would be like, hey, this is talking in the back room, in the boardroom. Hey, our ratings are going down. We should start trying to like fire things up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because I felt like 2 years ago, like the narrative about the NBA was they're getting the most hits on social media like than any other sport in the world. The most clips on YouTube, XYZ. And then the whole narrative this year has just been like, no one's watching the NBA anymore. What happened? So
once you lose control of the narrative, it's hard to get it back, because I don't know what the ratings are comparatively. I know they were down when we checked on them before, but it's like once that narrative gets going, oh, no one's watching this. Oh, then that takes away the casual fan who's like, oh, well, no one's watching it. I'm not going to watch it. Yeah. So I wonder how much of that is narrative versus reality.
Well, it's a changing of time and changing of the guard. And even for like a fan like myself, I'm having to try to find new things to engage with. Some of these younger teams are kind of catching my eye. I think the most surprising team to me right now is the Rockets.
Oh, yeah.
The Rockets beat the Celtics last night, and they're second in the West. They're 31-14, and one of my favorite players is that. Have you watched one of the Thompson brothers?
I haven't watched a game of his this year. Yeah, I'm not in market.
Amen Thompson. It's spelled like amen. Man, he's he kind of plays like Jaylen Brown. He's a second-year guy. He's got a twin brother who plays on the Pistons. And I still can't watch. I will not watch the Pistons, and I hate watching the Bobcats or Charlotte Hornets, whoever they are now.
Why is that? Just how bad they are?
They're just so terrible, and they don't care. The only one who cares is LaMelo. And I still feel like he just cares about putting up 30 and 10.
Hey, at least he cares about something.
He cares about something, though.
Their coach for the Rockets, you know who that is, right?
They got Ime. Yeah.
Yeah. So he used to coach the Celtics, had to leave because of some questionable behavior.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's got them playing a similar style. And, if you play the right style, then you can win games. I would say most surprising in a good way for me. Well, yeah, because then we'd be the most disappointing later. I thought the Cavs have just played out of their mind.
Oh, man.
Obviously, the 1 seed. Still 5. They the talk was them, where they challenged the Warriors record when they were, what were they, 32-4. Well, they've gone 5-5 in their last 10. So
yeah,
they're going to challenge. They might win 65, but obviously they're not winning 70. But they've looked good.
What's crazy about them is
Thunder taking the 1 seed over.
After the All-Star break last year, there was one point in time they went on like a big run. They were like 22-3 or something like that. But I was thinking they were going to be the team to beat in the East, and then I felt like they hit their peak at like game 70, and then kind of started going downhill.
Just dropped.
Yeah, but it's essentially the exact same roster as last year. The only difference is they fired their coach. They brought in the assistant who was he'd been with the Warriors for a few years. And I think he actually coached for France in the Olympics this past summer.
Oh, wow.
So, but yeah, the Cavs are,
I love D Wade on their team.
Oh yeah. They got they got him, and then they got Merrill. The two white shooters.
Yeah, it's my favorite D Wade in NBA history, let me tell you right now.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe he can ride LeBron's coattails for 2 titles.
Let me tell you about D Wade.
And the referees 29 free throws. Anyway. Yeah. What about most disappointing team? Who are you kind of like disappointed in, team-wise or storyline-wise?
I'm going to 100% say the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, I got the same one.
I mean, I felt like Joel was he was decent in the Olympics, and it's kind of just weird. I feel like they have just completely imploded. Paul George wasn't. He's not Paul George anymore.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy! How smart the Clippers look letting him go.
Yeah, they were like, well, we offered him 3 years and he didn't take it, so we told him, he could leave. They look smart. Yeah, and then I love Nick Nurse, their coach. I mean, he's been one of my favorite coaches. I loved him with the Raptors. Obviously, he won in 2019, but yeah, man,
Something's rotten there.
They don't have it. I don't know what it is. I'm starting to think it's probably Daryl Morey. I feel like he ends up kind of just rotting out everywhere he goes. But
I think he puts his faith behind the wrong players, like Embiid and Harden, and then it just doesn't work. Like, I mean, he got the Rockets to the point where they should have beaten the Warriors. They had them at 3-1. They missed that 27 3-pointers in a row. They had a big lead in that game, and just they had him beat. And I don't know, you can GM the heck out of it, but I don't know, man. Something doesn't quite work.
What's your midseason awards? We'll do our best.
Oh, that's what we're talking about now. That's what we're talking about. So most disappointing team for me, obviously, I agree, the 76ers. Most disappointing storyline for me is Luka's injury.
Oh my god!
Because the Mavs are down to 9th place right now. They did slap. They've won 2 out of 3. They actually beat the the Thunder and the Wizards, but they lost to the Hornets, lost to the Pelicans. Yeah, trying to hang on without Luka. They've lost at different times, all 5 of their starting 5. So the injuries that kill it. It's just disappointing.
It's hard to watch because it's so much harder for them to generate offense with no Luka.
Oh yeah, I mean, you take the best player off of every team, and we'll see how they do.
Yeah, and they also, I mean, they've had some games where, like they beat the Thunder, but essentially, the rule of thumb is anytime you don't score 100 points, you're going to lose, and they've had a handful of those. So,
oh yeah. Well, nowadays it's probably closer to 110 with the way shooting is.
It's true.
So that was my most disappointing storyline. Who you got for MVP right now? Who's your kind of favorite? Who are you looking at for MVP? Joker looks good. SGA looks good. Tatum looks good.
I was going to say, unfortunately, it's going to be SGA. He's the best player on the best team right now. I mean, they literally picked up where they left off last year, and now he's a couple points better. I think he's averaging like 32. They're essentially
32, 5 and 6.
Yeah, 32, 5 and 6. And it's you could probably give it to Jokic every year, almost like LeBron back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's his turn. If Luka can't.
It was Luka's turn this year, dang it.
Yeah, he can't. He's not going to play 65 games.
No, he's not going to make the minimum. Yeah, the current standings, SGA's ranked 1. He's got 32, 5 and 6. So pretty dope. Jokic, I didn't realize, is averaging a triple-double. He's up to 30.2 points, 13.4 rebounds, and 10.1 assists.
That's what I'm saying.
So if you average a triple-double, for me, that's pretty good.
That is one team that I love to watch them play.
Oh, the ball movement, man.
Yeah.
It's so good.
The ball movement's great. He's the most competitive person in the world. I mean, he wants to win every possession. It's insane. That's why he's so good.
Oh, yeah.
He could care less. Quit. People are like, he hates basketball. I'm like, he loves to compete, though.
Got to get that competitive juices in there. It's like Luka. He wants to win every single possession, every single time. He doesn't win the offseason, but it's going to be fun as the race starts heating up. If the Mavs don't turn it around pretty quick, you might be, I don't know. It's not looking pretty. My bold prediction right now, Spurs sneak into the play-in.
Ooh, to the play-in.
3 play-in.
Okay.
So the 10 seed. They're 3 games out of the play-in spot. They're in a down stretch. They've, lost 7 of their last 10. But I think Spurs sneak into the play-in. I have no metrics on this.
Well, they also
pure vibes.
There's some reports going out today that they may be trading for De'Aaron Fox.
Oh, there you go.
Who's on the Kings? Which that would flip the Kings. That would send the Kings into rebuild.
Yeah.
No. I think my sleeper. I think the Timberwolves are going to figure it out. I watched them play the other night. They beat the Nuggets by 30.
Oof.
And Randall, and it's starting to turn a little bit. You know, they looked bad.
They've won 3 straight.
Yeah, it looked bad when, not necessarily without Cat. They just hadn't figured out their side of the trades yet. But I started to see it a little better. Randall and Ant were sharing the ball. And then you just have so many players around them. You know, you have Naz Reid, you have Jaden Daniels, you got some vet presence in Michael Conley. I feel like they could go the distance in the West.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And right now they're obviously in the 7th seed, but look out for them in the second half. And yeah, that's my sleeper team right now. Of course, I have to root for the Lakers, but I don't think they have the horsepower.
I don't think they have the horsepower to go far. I think they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're the 5 seed right now. They seem to be playing a little better. They'll be kind of hovering around there, that 5, 6, 7. If they play well, they'll miss the play in, but they seem like a one and done team this year to me.
Yeah. I guess
lose the first round in 6.
I'm going to take a very early pick, and I can change this later, but I'm taking Minnesota out of the West.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. I think it's going to happen. I think things are going to turn around.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't going to be that bold. That's for sure. It's too early for my NBA. I got to let the season we're at the part where we're starting
let it come to you.
Like you're saying, you got to let the game come to you a little bit. We're at the teams that started hot are starting to cool off a little bit. The season's starting to grind and wear. And like you were saying with Minnesota, like this is the point in the year where teams start to figure it out and start to build towards the playoffs. So, there'll be some surprises. I think, like I said, the Spurs, I think, will figure it out. I think the Suns are stuck.
Yeah, they're stuck.
We'll see. They're stuck.
Old.
I don't feel bad for them. Devin Booker, except for at the Olympics where he was my guy there, but
I was looking at the top 5 oldest teams in the NBA the other day, and obviously the Suns are one of them. Milwaukee, I think, is the oldest with the average age of, I don't remember, 29, something like that.
How old is Giannis?
Giannis is only 30.
I was going to say, he's got to be 30, though.
That's the piece. If look at it from this perspective, Giannis is 30. LeBron's 40. He could play for another 10 years like this.
He's got to learn to shoot a little better. Yeah, so I think he's got 3 or 4 at dominance and then kind of slide to being a role player.
Yeah.
I don't like LeBron's the outlier by
the point I was trying to make is in the top 5, you had the Suns, you had the Bucks, and then I think it was at 3 or 4 was the Celtics.
Oh, really?
I was like, I did not realize. I mean, if you think about it, Drew Holiday is probably 34, 35.
Oh, yeah. Well, Al Horford's 50.
Porzingis is 32. Yeah, Al Horford's my dad's age.
38. 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
Jordan Walsh looks like he's 90, but he's only 20. I'm sorry, he makes more money than me. I can laugh at him.
Yeah, same.
He's on the vet. Even if he's on the vet minimum, he's doing, another 0 on his salary better than me. So,
yeah, NBA season's coming. We'll finish football. Let the All-Star break happen. No one's going to watch that for sure. And then,
oh gosh,
yeah, second half of the season, we'll start to pick up a little bit more there. I'm going to be dialed.